Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, once said, "If you don't believe it or don't get it, I don't have the time to convince you." Looks like the same is going to be true for Indian government, as the stance that government has taken so far is very unwelcoming. And what Satoshi Nakamoto said, looks like the exchanges are following the same path but omitting the option out to convince the government further and shifting their bases to other countries. That's something to think about. Hello and welcome to the viewers of Crypto TV. I am your crypto host Parvati Nirban, and today we are having a guest on the show of Crypto Masters, who is closely connected to exchanges in India and is a founder of a crypto payment gateway company known as BITRATUA. Hello and welcome to our today's episode of Crypto Master, Mr. Laxman. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Parvati, for having me here.
So let's begin, right?
Sure.
As we all know, the tussle that is going on due to the regulatory issue that the crypto world is facing in India, and additionally the exchanges are having a very tough time when the market is bearish. We all know the shadow ban and the difficulty that all of us are facing. So P2P is the only solution left for us?
Yes, I think primarily this is the only solution and option left for end consumers and exchanges to accept UPI and give the crypto to users. So P2P is the only option.
Okay. And you know that the ease of UPI based payment transfer is not there in P2P transfer, right? Yet people are willing to do it, as currently there is no other option available. What do you have to say about that?
They can actually make UPI transaction, but not to the exchange UPI. So in the P2P, what happens? The people can make UPI to the users, the UPI payment, right?
Right.
They can still use the UPI.
Right. So because you are a payment gateway in yourself, so how do you actually explain this situation and how can we better this?
No, we are not a P2P, exchange provider. We are helping businesses and individuals, getting paid in cryptocurrencies. But I'm explaining you situation, based on the regulations issues and the things coming from the government side. Right. The cryptocurrency exchanges in India, I think they are exploring P2P options to allow their users to buy cryptocurrencies.
Right. So how exactly BITRATUA is functioning? Like, is it the same how every other P2P transfer is happening, or is there any difference, or is there any ease of transfer in comparison to the exchanges, what they are offering with their own, wallets and with their own P2P transfers?
Right. So the first difference with, in BITRATUA is we are not allowing people to buy cryptocurrency. So that means we don't have a UPI support as of now. People can use our gateway to accept payment in cryptocurrency.
So it will be crypto to crypto, not fiat to crypto.
Exactly. So the fiat option is not available with us. The region is saying government is not allowing, the RBI is not allowing.
So what is your stance and what is your take in the same case? Are you also considering to move out or shift base in case the regulatory, doesn't come in the way which is, supporting crypto exchanges or payment gateways at the same time?
So yes, until the regulators will be going out, right? We are also exploring options of setting up a base in different country. I would say Dubai. They're thinking of Dubai. So okay. Let's see.
Okay. So if the regulatories are not actually supporting, so we see a lot of crypto-based company going out of India, right? That is the future.
Exactly. So the clarity is not for startups like us. We want to register this platform in India, but there are no regulations how we can get the license for this crypto payment gateway. But I think we hopefully can get the same from other countries like Dubai.
Okay, so as you said that P2P transfer is the only option as of now, and we are waiting for the regulatories to come on board and see what happens. But at the same time, right now, because this is the only option left, how safe and secure is this option? Like, how safe is the payment transfer that happens? Like, because people are using these URLs and then they are transferring and that's how then the money is converted into the crypto, whatever the crypto coin is available in the particular exchange. So how safe, because it is via happening, it's not directly transferring, so there are a lot of issues already when it comes to discomfort, but there is another worry when it comes to safety and security of the transfer that is happening. So what do you have to say about that?
Right. So let's break this, this answer into two parts. The first answer is this: the people are, making UPI transaction to the other person, right? So that is secure, which is happening on a banking network.
Right.
And another person that has to, is supposed to send a crypto back to the person who made a UPI is also secure, because that will be happening on a blockchain network. But this P2P is not safe because there is no guarantee, right? There is a breach of trust. There may be a breach of trust. Let's say I made a UPI, but what if the person in front of me is not going to send me cryptocurrency? So in this case, I think exchanges will also not do much help in this. So this is not safe, I would say.
Okay. So how people are planning to deal with this issue in case the regulatory comes otherwise?
See, the thing is, people, they will be using P2P as long as, there will be, the issues from government side coming from, like regarding the regulatory and taxes. Right. People will be using, P2P transactions, but they are not safe, right?
Right. See, why am I asking this question is because, see, end of the day, there are people who have already invested in crypto. There are people whose money is already lying because this suddenly happened, and for this entire situation to shift and to become this to be absolutely prohibited, like you cannot do any transaction, that is a change of scenario. So if that happens, fine, we will see if that is going to happen. But at present, when the things are already in between, then how people will deal with this kind of risk which is already involved in this transfer, right?
Yes, I have identified two kind of people. The one who is holding cryptocurrencies like Luna and DogeCoins. They're not sure about what is the future of these currencies, right? So they are going to sell. They are finding different alternatives to sell anyhow. And at the other end, the people who are really curious about buying cryptocurrencies, maybe because of the FOMO, right? They are going to buy cryptocurrencies. Let's say, I just need to buy it for 100 rupees or buy it for 1,000 rupees, try it out and explore this option, right? So they are buying cryptocurrency using P2P method. But I believe the people who are real investor are not going to use P2P. They are going to hold the cryptocurrencies and they will be waiting for the government. They will be waiting for the regulators to come out. If they have to move the funds, then I think they will be using the foreign exchanges to move the cryptocurrencies. Okay. They will always have option to withdraw funds in foreign currency, right? So foreign exchanges, they are they have the withdrawals enabled for foreign currencies.
Then that is the loss of India in such scenario, actually.
Exactly. The India, the income tax department will be definitely, they have put a 30% tax, but they are not sure about it. This is a loss of Indian income tax, right?
Yes. So, as we all know that 1% TDS is already levied at source, and which is having a lot of technical challenges. So if the exchanges have to incorporate, in case this 1% TDS deduction at source, in case the regulatory come, in the favor of exchanges, but still these 1% TDS is a big problem because they need to rebuild or reform the current infrastructure as it will not comply with 1% TDS, isn't it? What do you have to say about that?
Yes, exactly. They are facing challenges because they have built their system in such a way, they have architecture of their, applications in a different way. Now, in order to incorporate the 1% TDS, they have to, modify the existing application layer and the architecture of their, entire system. So that is a big challenge for them from moving from one system to the another one. Right. But this 1% TDS, I think it is going to be mandatory from the government side. they are not going to, put any relaxation on it. So the applications like, cryptocurrency exchanges and I think the platform like us, crypto payment gateway, they are going to implement it. But I believe that this will not go far. Governments, they have to, sit together with the crypto players, crypto, industry, and then come out with another solution. I think there could be a solution.
But I want to cut you here. You know about the Bangalore meeting that happened. It is for the same reason that they wanted to actually discuss and come out with a plan, but actually nothing actually came out of that whole discussion. And government was disappointed. The exchanges people were very disappointed. Regulatory people, consultants, whoever was there, everybody was technically disappointed at the end of it. So it's not looking like the things are actually shaping in the right way, right?
No, see, the thing is, when industry is sitting with government, right, the only agenda of putting a TDS is to trace the movement of money, right? That can be achieved if they sit together with the industry players. They will have, see, we can trace the Bitcoin, we can trace any cryptocurrency, right? The thing is, they will have to, listen to the industry and then bring a mutual solution which can benefit the industry and government as well. So the movement of money can be traced, right, without TDS. TDS, I think, is not mandatory in that case. So they will have to come up with a solution, the mutual solution.
So you think they have applied 1% TDS only to track the money?
Exactly. So TDS is to trace the movement of funds.
Okay, so despite the regulatory issue, more and more exchanges are still coming alive, and now the economy is moving towards decentralized infrastructure, like you just mentioned about the traceability, so which is centralization, and we are talking about decentralization. Exchanges have to list various crypto tokens, currencies in the form, and also they have to work on the payment gateways. So you do exchange development, you do coin development. So what are the challenges you face in this case, and what is the role of BITRATUA in that?
Sure. The problem that that is coming in front of us is I think over the period of 6 months we are seeing there is a new token, new blockchain in the industry. Let's take an example of Ethereum, Polygon, and similar blockchains which runs on EVM, right? So they support Solidity as a programming language for smart contracts to develop the tokens, right? So we have the resources in Solidity. Now let's say the new blockchain, which is Solana, right, that doesn't support the Solidity. Right. So in that case, we have a challenge of switching from one technology to another technology. Hiring resources for a different technology is again a challenge. So this is, as the industry grows, right, the technology is also changing. So this is a change from moving, switching from one technology to another tech stack. So this is a bigger challenge. But I think, we will have to, keep moving.
So that is the issue of interoperability, if I understand it correctly, right?
Right.
Which itself is a big issue, right?
Exactly. And so the problems will arise, like auditing a smart contract written in Solidity, is something we have resources, but auditing a smart contract which was written in written for a blockchain, a Solana blockchain, right, would be difficult for the resources who have been working in Solidity. So every time we have to look for new resources, they have experience, and that creates the demand in this, industry, and which again increase the cost.
Understood. So I have, because you talked about the interoperability and how the difficulty from moving from one chain to another chain and the functioning of it is, and the auditing of these smart contracts, how difficult it is, you just explained. The vulnerability also comes at the same time in these junctions of interoperability, right? And the hacks actually are happening in such spaces. We all know about the hacks that happened, and the number of hacks happened in 2022 is pretty high, and the amount that has been stolen is also pretty high compared to 2021. So I have a list of hacks that happened when the exchange wallet was hacked. For example, Ronin network hack that happened very recently, then Poly network last year, then KuCoin hack happened in 2020. So, which means the exchange wallets in this case, particularly like if we start talking about the exchange, so exchange wallets are also very vulnerable. So, if we discuss this in parts, the first part is how vulnerable is this and how to secure the exchange wallets. Like to start with wallets and then we can talk about the chains. Because there are various hacks happened at the chain level and then happened at the exchange level.
Right. So there are, two types of exchanges: the centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges.
Right.
So for the centralized exchanges, their responsibilities is to, make the wallets secure, right? So they also need to secure the infrastructure, whereby they also need to educate their customer. However, we have seen that these exchanges, they have, different level of securities implemented. For example, two-factor authentication, right? When user withdraw the funds, they need to provide the OTP. So these kind of security layers they already built, but we need to educate the users more towards it. And the centralized exchanges, they have to secure the wallets, and they have to adopt the cold wallet for this also. While we talk about decentralized exchanges, right, where the end consumers, end users, they store the private keys. They have the 100% ownership of their wallets. They control that, so they have to be very careful, store the keys safely. If they think like they can't store the keys safely, they can opt for a paper wallet, or they can they can also opt for different key recovery services. So the key point is to take care of the private key is the primary, must be the primary goal here.
In decentralized exchanges.
In decentralized exchanges.
So then it becomes the responsibility of the consumer.
Right. So
what about
the responsibility of consumer is high in case of decentralized exchanges.
Okay. And when it comes to centralized, because there are two-factor authentication, all these things happens, right? Whether they use email IDs and whether they use numbers, whatever the ways have been developed. So what about that then?
Yeah. So these centralized exchanges, they must add more security layers to their infrastructure. Let's say add IP whitelisting, add address whitelisting, right? If we, as a centralized exchange, if we had a feature like where user can whitelist the address, the chances of losing funds will be less. I would be sending, transfer to the whitelisted address and from a whitelisted IP. So these kind of security layers, centralized exchanges has to explore and implement.
How does that function? The whitelisting of these IP, and how
so
tough
IP,
or easy it is?
Right. So whitelisting IP is like the internet you're using, right? So once you whitelisted your IP, that means the exchange will allow transfer only if that is coming from a whitelisted IP.
Okay.
If any transfer is coming from a different internet IP, will be will be banned. It will not be allowed.
But isn't it there are risks involved with whitelisting the IP as well?
So that is that is why I'm saying while whitelisting the IP, the exchange will ask for a two-factor kind of a SMS, OTP, and all. So once that is done, that means the original user, genuine user, has done that. So next time it actually increase the security.
So this is better than what decentralized exchanges are following, is what you're saying, is it?
No, I'm not saying, if centralized exchanges add these security layers would be called as better exchanges than the decentralized one. Decentralized have their different benefits.
More secured? If I add a point to that, are they more secured?
See, the thing is, decentralized exchanges, I would say, are secured, yes, because the user, controls their funds 100%, right? But then there are different challenges in the decentralized exchanges that runs on a smart contract. Then the issues, vulnerabilities from smart contracts, will become the challenge, right? So the decentralized exchanges have their different challenges.
Yes, because see, why am I asking this question is all these hacks that have happened. It's not that in the case of decentralized one, it's only that the key has been shared and then the hack has happened. No, that's not the case, right? The hacks have happened otherwise, and that's the reason why I'm asking you this question, because it's not only about, okay, all these users have lost their keys or they have shared the keys and that's why the hack has happened. No, the hacks have happened for other reasons and various reasons, right?
So that depends, whether the hack was, the hack happened on a centralized exchange or happened on a DeFi network or DeFi protocol, right? If that happened on a DeFi protocol, then it must be because of, vulnerabilities present in the smart contract.
Smart contract. Okay. So that is the other point.
Smart contract, was not audited properly. It was not securely written. So there are different cases of it.
Right. So it's not only the fault lies in the wallet of the decentralized exchanges. It is lying elsewhere, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Fine. And what are the vulnerabilities in smart contracts? Can you just elaborate few?
So there are vulnerabilities like, re-entrancy, denial of service, front running, just to name a few, right? These are all, vulnerabilities which the smart contract developer has to take care while writing a smart contract. So there are two things that they can primarily do. One is secure writing, second, auditing the smart contract. So, by doing these two things and following all the, best practices, I think is the way forward.
Yeah, this was fantastic. So I will end our conversation here because you've already given us so much of pointers about how this can be secured, how the exchanges can do, and yes, we are waiting for the regulatories to happen. Thank you so much for coming on board and giving your time. Thank you once again.
Thank you for having me here. It was such a pleasure talking to you.
Same here. This was all from my side on today's episode. For more technical discussion, expert views and current crypto scenario in India and globally, don't forget to watch Crypto Masters with me, Parvati Nirban. Keep watching and keep enhancing your knowledge of crypto only on Crypto TV. Bye-bye.